Hey guys, Midget here, bringing you another Walking Dead video review. Today is episode 9 of season 2 and it's called Triggerfinger. Just before I get started though, I want to say that, not the normal surrounding is because I'm at my dad's house. I'm not at my mum's house, and that's why you can see something else behind me, not the normal thing. And basically, just got that out of the way. So basically what happens is that Laurie gets in the car. Well, she doesn't get in the car. She is in the car and she's knocked out, and she's surrounded by walkers. And she wakes up screaming because of walkers, just basically climbing through her window, I should say. She doesn't do the right thing by screaming, I guess, but she is scared. And then Glenn and Hershel are shocked and are leaving the bar. Glenn and Hershel are shocked after it kills the two people, but they're just about to leave the bar, and the alliance of Danny and the other guy, the people from the bar they killed, just arrive and say that is anyone in there, because Glenn blocks the door just about as it's opening. They say they don't want any trouble, they're just looking for them friends, and basically they've killed the friends, so they get into a bit of trouble. And Rick's speech about not wanting anyone else dead basically fails, because I guess they've killed the friends, and he's like, we don't want anyone else dead, but they're not interested to hear that, and they just want them dead. So yes, and a walker is biting through the glass. It changes to Laurie again. A walker is biting through the glass, and Laurie's panicking. It grabs her, but she manages to stab it, with some torch type thing. I don't know. It's some torch type thing. I think, it looks like a torch. It might have been a knife, actually. I'm not sure. But nevertheless, she stabs the walker and gets out. And then the next thing that happens is she looks back at the car, and another walker grabs her, and then she goes in the car, after she kicks him. She goes in the car and shoots the other one. And the group at the house is about to eat supper, but they talk about Laurie, and they look for Laurie to try and get her to eat something. But someone said that she wanted Rick back, and that she might have gone, and so Shay and Laurie are kind of getting scared. But some people talk about Rick wanting their friends, and which have been killed. Rick pleads to for the people not to attack them, but it doesn't manage to happen, and they do attack them. And Hershel gives Glenn a shotgun, I should say, and asks Carol, in the mystery to look for Laurie. Carol asked Daryl whether he knows something, and he said Daryl said the exact words, I think she's gone out to look for them, the stupid bitch. And then he takes a bit from, Carol takes a bit from Daryl, she just tries to talk to him, but he starts being very aggressive. Glenn looks at the back of the bar, and it's like an abandoned warehouse. But Shane sees Laurie's car, because Shane goes to look for Laurie. He sees Laurie's car, but he also sees the dead walkers, so he knows she's not dead because she's killed the walkers. So he's definitely knows that she's not dead, so he wouldn't leave her now. But Glenn, just about when Rick tells Hershel to, that Glenn is meant to, is meant to make a run for the car, and Hershel is meant to cover him. Hershel tells him the news, and he's like, oh god, being sarcastic, because you wouldn't want to get protected by, an old man, to be honest, would you, that is a Catholic, and, most likely he's never shot. But Hershel says he has shot before, he just doesn't like to do it. And, Glenn gets shot at, but Hershel shoots the shooter, if that makes sense. And Rick comes back as they both get shot at by someone else. They think that Glenn is hit because he's hiding behind a dumpster, but instead he's he tells us what he thinks later. But the thing is that I can't tell you yet because this doesn't happen yet. So nevertheless, they see the guy that shot at them, and he was meant to jump into the friend's car, but he missed, and he broke his leg. No, his leg went straight through the top of the fence, dead through his knee. So he got stuck there, and his mates left him for dead. And Rick's group decided to try and chop his leg off, but there's no time, so Rick just literally snaps his leg off, like, just pulls it up and snaps his leg off, and it was hilarious. You know, he was just funny. But Shane finds Laurie and lies about Rick being back, because, just otherwise, Laurie wouldn't have come back, to be honest, would she? She wouldn't have come back if she knew that Rick wasn't there. And Daryl has a real big go at Carol, you know, just out of nowhere. He starts having a go at her, and then she goes, "Yep, go ahead." And she at this point she's getting a bit hard now, you know. She's not gonna cry over someone calling her a name or taking the mick at Sophia. She won't cry. She's just there, you know, taking it from Daryl. I don't understand the whole why Daryl would do that. You know, obviously he's sort of a lone wolf in the group. But I don't understand where all that anger comes from. Obviously he was abused in his childhood, as we know, but then she didn't do out to him, and, you know, it's just like randomly she just talked to him, and he's like, "Stop looking for something from me," you know, or something like that, and I just didn't understand it. But then Shane tells Laurie that like, she tells everybody rather that, you know, he has to look for her, and that's why he lied, because he wants to protect her and the baby. And Carl gets angry at Laurie because Carl yet does not know about the baby, and Shane doesn't know that, but Shane asks for Laurie to hear him out, you know, because, like, obviously, you know, he lied about Rick coming back, and Carl helps him talk to Laurie. But then Laurie asks Shane to tell him what happened with Otis, and Otis does. Well, Shane briefly touches the topic of killing him, but I don't think enough that, Laurie would be certain, just that she still predicts it, you know, I guess. But then Laurie tells Shane that she told Rick about them having sex, and Shane can't handle him. You know, it's just kind of, like, awkward, guess, you know, because Rick knows about this and Shane didn't, so Shane still thought they were best mates. But now, when Rick was back, it was like really awkward between them, so it's kind of funny. But Maggie tells Andrew about Beth finding out about her being on the pill before, you know, not obviously now, but before, about her high school life. And Andrew's sticking up for Shane when she's talking to Dale. She says that she thinks that Shane can protect the group more than Rick and Hershel. And then just about this, she says that Rick, Glenn and Hershel come back with a mysterious person that no one yet knows what he's called, but we all know he's called Randall. And they obviously say that just in a minute after they arrive, basically. So they say that, and it's funny because Hershel comes out in the car and Maggie starts running for him, and he gets his hands ready to hug. But instead she runs past him and hugs Glenn, you know, who's sort of like traumatised, I guess. I keep using traumatised in this season, but there is a lot of traumatisation, if that's a word, in this season, you know. But then they're talking over what to do with Randall. Shane is quite angry and Hershel owns him. Shane says, well, we could just give him, you know, we could just let him attack us, you know, he knows where we are, what's the point of letting him go? And, like, he gets a bit angry and says, I'll do something, and then Shane goes, you wait up, Shane, we still haven't thought of what to do with you. I was going to get you off my farm, but Rick taught me out of it, so just stop, cut it out with all the, you know, bad behaviour type thing. And, you know, he's like, oops, and he just walks out. But Glenn is like, well, Glenn is kind of scared and he's just kind of awkward. He just sits there, and Maggie can see it, so she talks to Glenn when everybody goes. And Glenn is blaming himself for things such as thinking about her while fighting and freezing. And she tries to kiss him, but he's like, you don't understand, and walks away. I just didn't understand Glenn at that point. I just didn't know what he was on about, to be honest. But Laurie tells Rick about Shane thinking the baby is his. She also tells Rick that she thinks that Shane is delusional, thinking they should be together, and she finally says that she